Greetings, everybody. This is Ashmedi, and you're listening and watching The Dan Chan Show.
I'm joined by Ashmedi from Mesopotamian, Sumerian, black and thrash metalers, Melechesh. How you doing tonight, mate?
As good as it could be. I'm doing fine, man. Doing great. I hope you're well.
I'm very well, thanks for asking. And you're a bit of a nomad because you're obviously from Israel, from Jerusalem. Then I think you went to France and you had tried the Netherlands for a while, and then you're a bit of a nomad.
Almost.
So
yeah, well, almost. First of all, France, I didn't live there. It was my other guitar player who lived there, but I spent time there.
Yeah.
Moloch lived there. Yeah, so I was born in Jerusalem. My family themselves are expats. They went to Jerusalem for business, and I was born there. We were in the international community. They're from a secular Christian background, but they went there for business, and I was born there. Till now, the status there is like they're expats. They have, how do you call it, like a green card to live there?
Yeah. Same as me. I have residency for Spain. I live in Barcelona, so
wow. Okay, exactly. It's like that. And but I've lived all over the world. Like the first language I spoke was French, but because I was in Senegal, Africa, my nanny, the African, the Senegalese, they speak French as a second language because it was a colony. So the nanny spoke French with me, and I got to speak French as a first language at the beginning. I forgot most of it. I speak a bunch of languages. Lived in the States. Lived 20 years in the Netherlands. I'm a Dutch citizen, actually, but and lived in Germany, in Turkey, in Greece.
Wow.
All over the place. So now I'm in Jerusalem at the moment, visiting my family.
Of all those countries, if you were going to take part in the Olympics, maybe like weightlifting or something, because you're a big guy, who would you represent?
That's the thing. I mean, by law, it'll be the Netherlands, I guess.
Yeah.
Because of my nationality. I never had the Israeli nationality because we were expats there. My family are Armenian, Aramaic. They came from Turkey. So they kept their nationality, and I had the different nationality, and I switched it to Dutch. So technically, we can never represent in Israel for Olympics because we're not nationals. We're just a resident. So that when you say like I'm not Israeli, but I have friends who are, and I have friends who are Palestinian, and we're friends with all the good people.
Yeah, of course. And you're currently
whoever is super cool. Exactly. Yeah, but I'm currently in Jerusalem.
That's important. We'll get into that in a bit, actually. But first of all, I want to talk about your new music. Fantastic stuff. Your new EP, Sentinels of Shamash, is out on. Well, it's only not long way now. It's like the 10th of April. It's like in the next week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you've had like 2 singles out already, In Shadows in Light, which I absolutely adore, and Raptors of Anza as well. How have those 2 singles been received so far in build up to the release of the EP?
Well, I mean, you need to keep up. People have high expectations, and when you do an album, they always expect from you like a better one next time. So we've been meeting their expectations. We had a gap with releases, and now we have this EP, and I was very happy that the fans and the listeners are extremely happy with it. And we continue that momentum with our releases, that they are quality over quantity. So it's been a really good response, and it's a relief because I do care I do respect our listeners.
Do you go looking for like reviews? Do you go checking them out?
No, they come to you. First of all, it's not healthy to look for that stuff.
No, I know.
I'm getting the feedback. I'm getting the people writing. I see it on our socials. Sometimes I do look at it, but it's been like, wow! Like the comments I've been getting, the mail I've been getting, the messages, the direct messages. It's all very positive from our fellow peers in the industry, from bands, from other labels, our label, media, and listeners and stuff like that. So, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that.
That's good. Now let's just go back a bit from like, if you think how many like EPs, singles, demos, splits, etc., and albums that you've released since the mid-90s, how do you think you're evolving as a musician and as the sound and everything, and the band in general. How do you think things have evolved?
Well, in my opinion, from day one, there's always been that spice or passion or something. But with as time passes, I guess you get better in writing. You know, so you have more control of your music ability,
Yeah.
and you know when you want to achieve something, it comes out.
Yeah.
You can express it. So, but I always make a point: the music, whenever it comes out, it's representing us at that period.
Yeah.
And although each song could sound a little bit different, but you can tell it sounds like us, but it's always a representation of that period of time. But all of it still sounds like cohesive. We have our own sound, and it's not an easy thing to get, but people are very satisfied with that. This music is really representing us at the moment. There's a sense of anger and retribution in it. It's something I've been through, and it's coming out in the music. But there's a little bit also of like catharsis and maybe accomplishment or victory in it. So yeah, but you're more in control in writing, and you're in musical, you know, and you're riffing and you're singing and song structures. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you find over time as well? Do you find that you've shifted in how you get creative? I mean, what does it take you to start the writing process? Do you have to get into that frame of mind, or are you constantly creative influences around you all the time, etc.?
Well, no, there was never a method to the madness. I don't know it. I don't know what it is still. It's just order and chaos. It could be a lyric, it could be a mood, it could be a riff, it could be something you see or dream about, you know.
Mm.
So it's everything and anything, and that never changed. I still don't know what it is. It just I, I know when it's going to be usable is when I feel something in my stomach, you know.
Right.
I could write a good riff, for example, or someone would tell me this is really good, but I'm not feeling something in my stomach, you know. I
Right.
can't explain it. When you feel that thing, it's almost instinctive, like the sense of hunger or the sense of, you know, when you feel that, or maybe when you're in love with something, or when you feel in your stomach, it's a weird feeling, but it's very unique feeling. When I get that feeling, it's a song I will pursue.
Sure. And so with your love of the music and the scene, do you ever write with the listener in mind? Like, do you write and think they're going to love this? This is like, you're playing it with the fans' perspective, or is it purely like what you're feeling at the time and fuck everything else?
No, I can't do that because if I'm going to play with the fans' perspective, I could do it. You know, you just play some riffs that are like, I know they're gonna like it, I guess.
Yeah.
No way. It's just I grab a guitar and let's say if it's gonna be coming out like that, and just make a song, just play. You know, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I do have faith in the listeners that they will understand the journey, and I like it. You know, let's say I would try to listen to it as a fan myself,
Mhm.
but I don't say, oh my God, they're gonna love this.
Yeah.
This is the part. No,
Yeah.
it never works like that. So I have people tell me like this. Look, just do it like that. They love it. I'm like, I respect them, and I hope they'll understand it and figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just gonna be it now. Whatever it is now, this is it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
There's no other way around it. It's
Sure.
way easier the way you said that. It's way easier. Yeah, here's a riff. Here's a bridge. This is a scale. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know, whatever. One, bam, thank you. No way, never.
Right. Okay. I understand. So tell me about this new EP. How many tracks are on the new EP?
Well, it's 3 songs that are very long, and we
Right.
have
Okay.
a 4th one, which we have one of the songs that has 2 different versions, which is not mixed. So it's 3 songs. It's an EP, but our songs are long, so it's like I guess in total like probably like 20 minutes or more, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 3 songs. We were gonna do an album. There were some delays in the studio, so we shifted our strategy we changed studio as well,
Okay.
and then we made the EP. It just there were too many delays, so we had to do it
Right.
that way. We went to Athens to record. Things got delayed. It took almost a year there. instead of a few months. I ended up living there for a couple of years.
Of course you did.
And then, and then a studio in Germany heard about what's going on, and they know about it. They're like, let the guys come in a creative environment, So we went there. We said, we'll do an EP. We need to go touring. Fans are getting frustrated. We need something out. We did that. And although we had more songs, obviously, so we chose 3 songs. We went to Kolakela studio. It's next to Darmstadt in Germany. I used to live there too. We actually have a warehouse there, a storage room, for the band, by coincidence, in that city. Backdrops, amplifiers, and stuff like that. Anyway, so it was purely coincidental. So on the way to the studio, we stopped there. We picked up some extra stuff to the studio. We recorded there, but we did the drums, guitars, percussions. Then I went to do Maryland Death Fest in the States. And Rob Caggiano, he is a good friend of mine. He did guest guitar work on my previous album.
Yeah,
we've been friends for many years. He used to play. Since we did Emissaries, and that was the days he was in Anthrax. Right. We were always in touch. And then I think he went to Volbeat. And when I was in Maryland, he came with us. We did a road trip, and from New York. And after that, he's like, come and I'll record your vocals, because he's a producer. He has a studio. So I went to New Jersey and spent there a while at his place. And we recorded in his studio my vocals. And we continued that in Los Angeles, because we were not finished. And I had to be in Los Angeles for something, and he had to be there. Yeah. And we went back to New Jersey as well. So he did the vocals, and he plays bass on the EP. So he played the bass and recorded it. He did some... how do you call it? Producer work, like some rearrangements for In Shadows and Light. So he was involved, and he did a fantastic job. So it was between those 2 studios, most of the work, between Kolakela studio with Christian and Daniel, and Rob Caggiano in New Jersey and Los Angeles. So it took a long while to get everything together. Yeah. I had some recordings also in Jerusalem. There was some, Jessica Pintel did guest vocals for the next single. She did that in Sweden. Everything had to fall back. And I'm constantly traveling, you know? And, traveling is really the way I live all my life. But sometimes it's hard when you're running a band. You have to rely on people and have certain places where you keep all your gear. I have places in Germany. I have in the States. I have in Greece, like storages with my equipment. Sometimes I forget what I have.
Really?
I like, oh yeah, I have that preamp. Oh wow, I have that guitar there, so I better get it. Something like that.
So I was going to ask you, do you record in a traditional sense? But I think you just answered that. Not really.
Yeah. It is traditional in the sense of the studio. Yeah. It's very organic. We go there. It's all analog. Like the guitars and the amplifiers, microphones. Yeah. The pickups, the wood of the guitar, the type of pickup you use, the room, the way you put the mics all over the place, the nature of the tubes, everything counts in making the sound. Then it goes to digital instead of a tape for the mixing, more channels, basically. Yeah. But it is traditional like that, but it's all over the place. I think it's just, for me, like the whole planet is like my backyard,
Yeah, why not? Of course.
It's pretty small anyway,
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to some country and I go to a cafe or have lunch, like, oh, we haven't seen you in a year. They don't know I don't live there.
Right,
like, I'll get that stuff, like that.
So let's go. So the band was conceived. Now, how long were you in Jerusalem before you got into music? Let's go back to like some history here with you. The band was the project, should we say, at the time was conceived in Israel, right?
Well, in '93, I started the band in Jerusalem as my side project. I was in an international school. All my friends were like from all over the place. That's how I was raised. We actually spoke English in Jerusalem because everybody spoke different languages, right? So that's the most. That's the most used language, I guess. I had to use. I was a kid. The same story as everyone else. It gets into metal music and stuff. But the band in '93, I started it.
You
It
were
was
a
the last
teenager,
years of
right?
my.
You were a teenager
I
then.
was young. I was very young. Yeah. First time I was on stage, I was 15.
Yeah.
But the band, I made it. I think I was just turned 18 or something, and I was finishing up with my Catholic school, the
Right.
De La
Right.
Salle. It's a Catholic private school in the old city by the Via Dolorosa, not far from where Jesus got crucified. Very inspirational.
Yeah. I was going to say. So,
Actually,
go
yeah,
on.
yeah. No, the joke is, I got baptized in the Assyrian church. Um, According to tradition or history, I don't know. It's the house of one of the apostles, Saint Mark, and it's the location, allegedly one of the two locations, but they go probably it's the more correct location of the Last Supper.
Right.
So I
Okay.
was baptized there in the
Shit.
Aramaic language and in the old city, and didn't work. I ended up doing the first black metal band from there.
I was going to say, did that all that if that environment and all that sort of like upbringing of Catholic school, whatever, did that push you in the direction that you went in and you've gone in?
No, not really, because you have to understand all that fanaticism about religion within the Christian. You see, when you say Christian, there's two definitions. There's religious, but in the Middle East, it's more like a culture, and
Yeah.
it's more like actually, it's more like liberal. It's more westernized.
Yeah.
But we're expats, but in general, everybody's super chill. All that what you hear that like fanaticism, it's even like in Jerusalem, like. Even like in school or stuff, they're like, look at those guys abroad, how crazy they are, like about their religion. They're super chill,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
But also, they haven't encountered someone into occult and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I did have some problems there
Yeah,
with
guys,
everybody.
tell me some problems,
Yeah,
Manny. There are some loose controversies, shall we say? I want to ask you,
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
craziest
yeah.
thing someone's written about you? What's the situation? You know, you're back in
Let me
Jerusalem now
tell
visiting
you.
your parents.
Yeah, let me tell you. We've managed to do, as young kids doing black metal, we've done what no one has done ever in the region. We
Right.
united everyone.
Right. Okay.
We united everyone against us.
Yeah. In the region.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
yeah. In
Especially these
Jerusalem,
days.
we were young. They put us in a newspaper, front page. Look at these guys. They're Satanists doing a ritual instead of like a black metal band. And everybody, like from the Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, like, Professor, rah, rah. I'm like, oh, look at them. They're all united.
That's so
I'm
funny.
taking one for the team. I'm doing like a Jesus type of thing here.
That's brilliant. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, and I was like wanted by the cops, and they go to the newspaper like, "Who's this guy?" And the newspaper's like, "I'm not gonna tell you who's this guy. He didn't do any crime." You know what I mean? There is civil war, you know, some protection for art and stuff. And I was with Corpse Paint, but you know this place is so dynamic and full of crazy stuff and crazy people. That's the last thing on their mind. After a while, they forgot about me. I went on TV. They didn't care. Years later, you know, I'm abroad. I actually left the country for a while then. But then, you know, they had bigger problems to worry about. But we had a big following there, and people would come up to me like, "We want to join your cult." I'm like, "What cult? Go home." There's no, we're a band.
Yeah.
We like to read books, study ideas, but there's no. It's about music. It's about exploration of the mind. There's no cult. You can come to the concert if you want. Then I left the country for a long time, and you know, we went back, we played concerts in Jerusalem. And don't forget, because we're not citizens, you know, you got to behave right. You know, you're not the same, you know, you can't just fuck around, you know. But no, it was good. I mean, in the end, a few years ago, we were on national TV. They did a special about me in their primetime TV.
Oh, brilliant.
And it was all positive. Like, here's this guy. He's neither this nor that, not Palestinian, not Israeli, not Muslim, not Jewish. Family came from abroad. He's all over the place. He lives between here and there in Jerusalem. He can't walk 100 meters without someone coming, giving him a hug or a high five, because they were with me everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was positive, you know. And again, everybody united. Oh, we need a positive story like that. I'm like, yeah. So one time they're all, it's preposterous. Yeah. And one time it's like, oh, this is so cool. So I'm like, yes, my children, I am here to do this. But yeah, I mean, it's very funny how like a bunch of kids doing black metal ended up in such a. We're disruptors. We don't fit anywhere. And people, with the echo chambers of people,
Yeah.
you would get assumptions. Like if you're against Israel, I would get attacked. If you're against Palestine, I would get attacked. If you're pro this, I will get a praise. If you're pro, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
No one knows exactly who I am, but I am who I am, and it's a fact. You don't have to fit a pigeonhole. The world is not that. It's not like little squares. Yeah. Everything is interconnected, and there are anomalies. The anomalies are not part of narratives.
Yeah. Okay,
you know what I mean? And it's not a small amount. There's a lot of people like that. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves. He's been raised in Lebanon, but he's half Chinese American. You know what I mean? It's exactly like
of course,
that.
Of course.
So, but because I look Mediterranean and it's from the region, it's harder to explain. If my family did the same thing in Japan, they wouldn't go, "Oh yeah, you're Japanese." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So that kind of complaint, and it's an interesting thing to see how the world is, But I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Of course, but it's a great story. And back in the day, me being a bit naive, I know Israel's quite liberal in a way, very good with LGBTQ community, etc. They're very open with stuff. It's a good party. Was the music easy to find? Was the black metal records, the early Metallica stuff, was it easy to get a hold of?
When I was a little kid, like little, there wasn't a metal scene or anything, so it wasn't really around, but since my community is expat and stuff, they got things from abroad. However, when death metal came out, like the first album of every, like the first Dayside, the first Morbid Angel, the first, you know what I mean? It was just a phenomenon that it was so huge that everywhere you go, people were like into death metal. And there were like Jerusalem had like 3-4 stores for death metal and T-shirts and patches, and like I think Napalm Death played in Napalm. I was with them. I went there. I was with the production. I was a kid. I was so happy. They came play Tel Aviv. They played Jerusalem. There were death metal bands coming. I think the Gathering's first concert ever was in Tel Aviv. So no, death metal music was very, very big. Then it started disappearing, and when there was black metal, there was nothing. And I got my favorite albums. First, it was demos. There weren't much albums when we started with our band, and I started distributing and giving to people, And then when there are some bands, like I think when in Night Sight Eclipse of Emperor came, I ordered like 20,
right,
and just like spread it around, and just pushing, and then it became a huge scene.
Yeah.
And like if we do a concert, it'll be like a lot of people there. But then I left the country. We came back to play there, and it was like, I think we did a show in a club. It was like 1,000 people, and it was still underground music. And so it comes and goes. There's always a metal scene. Not too much in Jerusalem, but it's still there. There's still a bar in Jerusalem, like 2 rock bars in Jerusalem, actually. Cool. It's also shifted. I mean, it became more leaning towards religion. Jerusalem in the past, it used to be a world city based on just a world city, not because of the religion. So you would go like Athens, Cairo, I don't know, somewhere in Thailand, Bangkok, like that. And there'll be backpackers, hostels, people who come spend months there just partying and stuff. Yeah. All the chains in the world were there, like from Tower Records, Blockbuster, okay, those are gone, but there would be like Ben & Jerry's, Dunkin' Donuts, Wendy's, everything was there. It's very like cosmopolitan. Yeah. And even, Iron Maiden played in Jerusalem when they weren't that big, when they had Blaze Bailey in the band. But now it went towards biblical narratives. I call them the hobbyists, Right. It's like, oh, it's our scene. Let's play as if. So let's do that. Let's wake up in the morning and do this as if, like in our hobby. It went to that. But so the real people living daily life, the artists, the reasonable people who don't like crazy politics, they all like each other. Everybody, in Jerusalem, it's like you're Jerusalemites. Everybody digs each other. It's always been cool. Not following that political narrative or anything. It's kind of like suppressed now. Now it's going more towards the hobbyists. Like imagine, let's put it this way. Imagine New Zealand becomes Lord of the Rings country. Everybody goes there because of the movie. Yeah. Now it's just a country and there's Lord of the Rings. that they filmed it there. So
Yeah.
people go there like pilgrims or
Pilgrimage,
homage or choose to live there. Yeah. So that's what's happening in a way. But that's like a sociological thing, you know,
Sure.
and it's discussed in every circle in the country. It affects economies. It affects what businesses you want to make. It affects art. You know, it's nothing suppressed, but it affects it. Like, maybe we shouldn't do it here. We should do it there, you know? And whenever I go and I come back, I always see the changes.
Of course.
Because I've been away from 98, I left.
I mean, I was going to say, before we get back into the music, one more question. What's it like there at the moment? Obviously, there's a lot of shit going on. There's always shit going on in the Middle East, but more so now than recently, you know. So what's
now there's a lot of missiles. I mean, today there's been 8 sirens. That means it depends which area. I don't want to talk about too much stuff like that for security reasons and stuff. But also, I was told, you know, it's not my place to say these stuff publicly, but this is just purely practical stuff. Yeah, there are missiles coming, and there's interceptions, and both of them are in danger to the public. You know, like things fall from the sky.
Yeah,
and it's a very strange feeling. I mean, life is still going. Restaurants are open. The movie theater, I don't know if it's open, but like things are like, you know, who are my heroes? The Walt delivery guys, or for the Americans, DoorDash.
Yeah.
Those guys, there would be a siren, and then they'll still come and like they'll deliver your pizza
to a bunker.
They will just deliver to the building with a safe house. My house doesn't have that. We're in the center, so if we got a direct hit, we're finished.
Right.
But it's old buildings. They're like thicker stones. And I saw one commercial, like the guy's driving. Someone did it from the Middle East, probably from Dubai. The person who did it, like a DoorDash guy, like is riding his bike, and there's like missiles, like here's your food. I think those guys deserve the most credit out of everyone, and they don't complain. I'm like, dude, thank you.
Need medals, mate.
Yeah.
Medals.
Yeah. So today there was a lot of sirens, and you feel it, you hear it. The house shakes. You know what I mean? And it's lottery.
Right. Okay.
You know, if you're abroad, if outside the house or inside the house, it's lottery, and it gets you. But I wouldn't change it for the world because, like the Dutch government wanted to offer evacuation and stuff like that. And there are ways to evacuate. We have a festival next week, and it's still a question mark. But I wouldn't change this for the world because this is exactly where I want to be. My mom is old. She's alone in the house. Of course, the government and stuff, there's always someone cleaning the house. And there's good social services.
Yeah.
My brother lives like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So if I were abroad, I'd probably want to come here.
Be there.
You know, like a lot of friends around the world are like, come stay with us, leave. I'm like, I'm not leaving her. Right. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. Of course,
but it gets to you, man. It gets you. The sky, there's things falling from the sky, noises that are shaking the house. I see them. It's like a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
Till you realize it's not science fiction. In the beginning, I would be watching stuff passing in the sky like both ways. And then I'm like, you got to start hiding when you start seeing things fall. Something as small as a screwdriver could hurt you.
Of course
It'll be a bullet. Yeah,
Is this, of all your time in Israel, is this the worst it's been? I don't want to delve too
much. And again, it's not black and white. First of all, politics is a game. For example, if in the name of politics someone gets stabbed by a terrorist, let's say, right? All the world would know about it. Meanwhile, in London, on a weekend, from fights in the clubs, probably 20 people get stabbed, you know?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, there would be shootings. In Colombia, but you wouldn't hear it. So it's the dynamic of for what reason. You'd hear stuff on the news, I wouldn't even know it's happening.
Right.
Like, abroad we'd hear about it. This time, it's not the worst. It's the first time there's things in the sky, like missiles and interceptors and stuff. Before it will be like, maybe there's a car bomb. Actually, we have a story. We were in the rehearsal room and a bus blew up in the 90s. And it's next to the rehearsal room, but the rehearsal room was a bunker downtown. We didn't know anything. Our families knew we're there. They're freaking out. There's no mobile phones yet. We went out. We didn't hear nothing because we're playing so loud.
Yeah.
And we just see a skeleton of a bus. And like one police car still there and they're cleaning the streets, I'm like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it was dangerous around the corner those days. Now it's and in daily life, if that's not happening, it's if you leave your wallet in a cafe or in a bar and go to the bathroom, it'll still be there when you come back. So that kind of petty theft, and it's not dangerous like that. But politics, you never know what's going to happen and who's going to do it. No one asks your identity card or your nationality. A bomb kills everybody.
Of course.
A stray bullet, if it's a cop who shoots the wrong direction to prevent something, he could shoot another person. Or if it's a missile coming, you never know. It's not good. All this is not good.
Of course. I mean, this. I'm moving on, but this sounds so trivial now. I shouldn't move on so swiftly because it's so fascinating to talk to you about it. But let's go back to the band because you're not going to band. There's no band as such. There's more live members than current members. Is that right? Is that how you like it? Because you've had about 20 people come through the band in the last 30 years. What is it?
No, it's not like that. It's the band. I started as a side project, and my friends came in, and we were together playing. And I love the romanticism of that.
Yeah.
I'm composing almost everything, like 90%. Including the drums, the bass, the guitar, the arrangements. Eventually, the record labels were just making the record deal with me.
Yeah,
they don't sign the other guys. They're when you are touring a lot, it's different than underground bands or some bands. You say they've been together so long in an underground, and they live in the same village or town in Europe. And then they do one tour every 3-4 years when an album is out.
Yeah,
I was touring like twice a year or something, and doing festivals, and sometimes 3 times a year. And it's hard to sustain musicians that some people have careers, some people they don't want that. So we just had an open door for like live session musicians, almost like Devin Townsend would do that.
Yeah.
Would do that.
That's cool. Yeah.
But I was always like, like romanticizing it as like the band, but I always say the door is open if you're dedicated and you want to tour. When we go to the studio anyway, like it's like Metallica when they go record, usually the rhythm is all James Hetfield, for example, because of the riffing. So it's working out like that. But it's the same people same people. The drummer is on the recording is the drummer who's been sessioning with us for like 3 years.
Right.
So he's like in the band, and the bass is Rob. So we have always different setups. Like the studio, you need certain skills and to record, and to play live, you need a different set of priorities in your life to be able to tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's just it's not that rare. People just hear band. Many bands, there's studio musicians, there's live musicians. It depends on the career path they choose. Many drummers come up to me. He's like, dude, studio drummer, we don't want to ever tour. Many guys would come, we just want to tour, So and I don't know if they would have the skill to be in the studio or not, but so there are different people with different priorities.
Sure.
But there was a situation when I was in Jerusalem, I was stuck here for a while for like bureaucratic reasons and stuff, and I needed to have my live lineup in Europe, and I had a manager hiring, and they apply, and I see how they play and stuff like that. So, some of them just go, I just want to do one tour, but they don't tell you that. They go, we're going to tour always. They do that one tour, like, okay, we weren't really straight with you. Now we want to retire. We want to get married.
Right.
I want to focus on my side project. Everybody has a side project. And the side project.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how it is.
Cool. Interesting. So talking about shows and everything, what's on the agenda for 2026 for you guys?
So the EP is coming out now, which is very ideal in terms of the label strategy with the new distributions they have. So that was for the best for us. They said, look, it's for your own good. This is the perfect timing. And 100% I agree with them. But what happens then, most festivals are filled up.
Yeah.
And it was initially supposed to come out around September, which was ideal for touring in the winter and fall, right? Winter and spring. So we had to push everything down. So at the moment, we have a new booking agency in Europe, Decibel.
Yeah.
Decibel touring. In America, it's always the same. It's continental. So Decibel's now booking us for festivals, and we might do some touring, but it's going to be pushed from fall onwards. It's just too soon to do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't book stuff without the momentum of having the EP and the public appeal, the people demanding you play to know there's music. And we didn't want to announce anything. We didn't even announce when and what. Just boom, here's the EP, here's the label, here's this, here's that. So as of now, we're doing the bookings, and there are slowly but surely coming some festivals. And hopefully by now, next year, we'll be touring. And then after that, enter to do a full album.
Brilliant. Good news. What do you prefer? I know this is a very subjective question, but what do you prefer? Do you prefer studio or stage? The writing or the performing?
No, writing is no. Writing, it's like it's an internal
the recording.
war.
The recording, that whole process. That whole process.
Writing is creating from nothing. From poof. Yeah. And it's a complete mental process of uncertainty, self-doubt. I love recording the creative process. You're building something, but in the end, for me, in the end, I say it's rock and roll, bass drums, guitar, snare, loud bass guitar, stage, interacting with. I love playing live, man. I go like, look, I get paid to play the guitar as loud as possible. I mean, no one complains.
No.
Yeah, they still complain. The sound engineers, when my amp is too loud. Yeah. So that is I love it. I love playing live. I love meeting people around the world. I love the energy. Is it a small club? Be it a small club or a big festival, I love it all.
Yeah.
Although a little bit more lean towards small clubs when you see the faces and the facial expressions of people looking at you like with that face, like, absolutely. God, I love that, But the recording, it's like building blocks. It's beautiful as well. Yeah, but sometimes it's tedious. You got to play the same guitar riff. I mean, this EP, it was like, the guitars are left, right. So we do it left, and then you play it again for the right. But then we do it the same with 12 strings guitar, electric, left, and the right. And they got to be like matching. Otherwise, you'll hear a fades and stuff. That's exhausting physically.
Yeah.
Like, when you're sitting like 10 hours, like sitting like that, it's physically exhausting. Your fingers split. I put super glue on them and I continue, and but it's a great process of creativity.
Of course.
But and it used to be my favorite part, but now I just love playing live.
Awesome.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Awesome. Do you have any specific pre-gig rituals to get in that zone?
Stretching. And listening to the craziest music, like anything from Survivor to Michael Jackson Beat It, then Michael Jackson Beat It, and we like people come to our backstage, and then maybe a Bon Jovi, then we'd shift to Metallica, Ride the Lightning, then to Bathory, then go on stage.
I love it, mate. Well, listen, Ashmedi, thanks so much for joining me, mate. I really do appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the year.
All right, man. My pleasure.